that grabber looks good on you. This is Chum Chompkins, my guy on the inside.
Well, he is a really unique guy, and we draw Chum Chompkins in 4 different styles. Let's get to it and start off with the cartoon effect. For the cartoon effect, I wanted really simple, clean, bold lines, and by doing so, we're going to have to take our time when we apply the paint pen. As you can see, I normally speed up my videos, but here, this is where I go at speed. And if you want to create smooth paint pens, this is the way to do it. It's pretty much the only way to do it. You have to go over gently, layer by layer, slightly overlapping, so that way you can get a nice smooth coverage across large areas. If you have problems with paint pens, that's generally what's the problem, is you're not taking your time going over those large sections. And before we get too far into the content, I asked this in my last video. Do I talk too much in the video? And I have to say, the overwhelming majority of you loved the fact that I kind of talk through the videos, give you my analysis through the videos. It's not just about shut up and draw or just create the content, because then it just has diminishing value. I want to teach you all not only how I create this stuff, but how you can then try and create your own versions at home. I would like to be this generation's version of Bob Ross, if you will. Instead of happy little trees, we can have demented little video game characters. All jokes aside, we're going to finish up with a nice black outline across the whole thing, and then we are going to move on over into the X-ray effect. For the X-ray effect, we first have to apply a nice layer of black. Now, the marker was a little dying, so I kind of had to stab it a couple of times, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently than what I normally do. With this, I'm going to actually make it look like a traditional X-ray. So we're going to start off by just sketching out the area, then we're going to hit it all up with a paint pen. But here's where the beauty of the effect comes through. Once we're done with the paint pen, we add that nice little fuzz around the outside, and that's what's going to make it have that animalistic X-ray. And then for that last little extra detail, I'm going to pop in just the highest of highlight right in the middle. Now that Chum got his X-ray complete, let's make him nice and blocky with the pixel effect. And basically what we're going to try and do here is make it look like the retro NES pixel art that we know. I really want this to feel like it just jumped out of an old school NES game. This isn't necessarily a difficult concept to achieve, it's just the painstaking concept of making all these tiny little lines and then figuring out how you want to divvy them up into the pixel portion, because a lot of what this section is going to be is a lot of yellows and variations of yellows for Chum's stomach. One thing that I really love about this particular style is it's kind of fun. It's a lot like a cartoon effect, but you really have to think about where you want your, pixel placements to be. And once you get that all situated, then you can throw in a nice little black border just to give it some differentiation so you can kind of see where the character moves and bends. So I'm only adding the black in very select spots where the natural outlines would occur and where a couple of folds within the character would be. I'm just going to go over certain spots just to punch in some of the colors and so you don't see some of the lines of the pixels that much. Now that Mr. Blocky is complete, let's make him super realistic. In my last video, I had this comment on how to use alcohol markers and how I use alcohol markers, and basically looking for some tips and tricks. So here are some things that I hope will help you elevate your alcohol marker game. First off, I always treat it like an acrylic paint. The dry time is very quick, so you can have one of two routes that you're going to go through when applying these. You can either, one, work in layers and allow for one section to thoroughly dry before you go on to the other layer. That's how I primarily like to work. It has more of a painterly approach. It's not super realistic, but it's fun, it gets things represented, and then you can work in layers of other types over the top. The second style is to work little sections at a time, have all of your colors at the ready, and then if you're treating it very similar to how you would in acrylic, you can bounce back and forth and blend. I do this sometimes. It all depends upon the area and the amount of, well, clarity and resolution to the image that I'm going to try to achieve. So if it's something realistic and it's in a tight area and I'm not going to do too much color pencil work over the top and I want it to have that kind of washed alcohol marker look, or I want to have some representation of little flicks of hairs, then I will work with alcohol markers over the top of each other and then just scrub it in with all the different highlights and shadows, and then that's how you'll get kind of like that blend. But primarily, I would just suggest, if you're getting started with alcohol markers, let the area dry and then work within the color wheel, and then work. If you have some red, throw some blues in there, throw some browns in there. Don't just use black. That is a very big no-no for everyone out there. I refuse to use black unless it's super sparingly or unless the image is absolutely black. But this just goes out there to anybody. If you're having an art problem, or if something just feels amiss when you're working on an art piece, throw it in the comments and I will try to edit into future videos as mini tutorial breakdowns for you. In fact, I might do less of the artwork in future videos and integrate more of the art tips that I use within the video. See, for instance here, I'm flicking in dozens and dozens and dozens of hair with a very light application of a paint pen over that base layer. Because I know what you're probably thinking, oh, he's too dark, but we're going to add so many layers of light on top of the acrylic paint pen between alcohol markers, paint pens, and color pencils that by the time we're finished, he's going to be significantly lighter. Plus, the reference image has him in a much darker light in the top half. So I wanted to keep the image honest. This is the fun but painstaking side of anything that's realistic. It takes time. Lots and lots of time. But when you want to make it look just the way you want, it's going to take that extra bit of time to make it look that special. And as you can see, we're throwing in a lot of browns on top of the red, so that makes it look darker without having to use black. Hair is just a nuisance for me. If you've seen my channel, you know that I say that all the time. But it's taking that little bit of extra time, and that's how you'll get your realism game over the top. Even though this image looks complete, I do want to throw a lot of color pencil lines just flicking out of the sides. Those are going to be little wisps of hair that kind of just come out from the sides. That is once again how we build in layers of realism. You have to show in all these tiny little micro hairs. It takes time, but in the end, it's all worth it. And just like that, we call this piece complete. Let me know your favorite style. Thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video.